Hey guys, Coach Tro. This is Senate Bill 82, which is basically a bill that Texas passed a few years back that basically says that we need to train you for safety protocols in athletics in Texas whenever you're participating in a UIL event. So we're going to run through this real quick and then have a quiz that's kind of posted for you after it. So pay attention and then take the quiz after you're done. So I'm going to skip that and we'll just get right to it. First thing you need to know about CPR is basically really just that, one, your coaches are trained in CPR. We have to be retrained every 2 years, so we understand CPR. And in the event that we have to use CPR, we're going to give you clear and specific instructions. We'll tell someone to call 911. That means go call 911 immediately. Someone will also be told probably to go get the trainers. That needs to happen as fast as you can.
Sorry, had to jump in here. Make sure when you call 911 you stay on the line and then tell them exactly what's going on, and then also and where we're located. Sorry. And then also when you go to get the trainer, tell them what is going on, that we need the AED out at the field or wherever we are.
As you can do it, and then we will start CPR. Tell most of you to get clear of the person that we're performing CPR on. So hopefully we never have to use this, but if we do, there it is. And if you're CPR certified, then maybe you can help if one of the coaches goes down. So, but the key is if someone goes down, be sure you let us know as soon as possible, because we need to get them help as soon as we can. Then compression rates and all that stuff really is for those of us that are trained, but it does go to the beat of the Bee Gees song "Staying Alive," so which goes like this: ha, 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 stay alive, stay alive, ha, 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 stay alive. Yeah, enjoy. So what you need to know though is that sometimes it can happen without warning. It's basically where your heart kind of goes haywire. And it doesn't know, either it starts beating too rapidly, which then the blood doesn't flow right and it shuts the heart down. So it's kind of like a hiccup. And then it can also happen from getting hit in the chest. There's a lot of different ways that it can happen. But basically once it happens, your heart stops, and then you're not getting blood to your brain and the rest of your body. And if that happens too long, then you can die. So it's pretty important that we get you help as soon as we can. These things are all, there's like genetic reasons for it. If you know you have a genetic reason, let us know. There can be inherited reasons, so let us know. And then there's also reasons that you may not know about, but you may know about them. So if you do know about them, bottom line is let us know. The ones that basically happen without it, if you get hit without genetic reasons, is if you get hit in the chest, that can do it. You can also be sick with a virus. We don't know much about coronavirus, but there are viruses that do cause your heart to swell, which then it sometimes can't pump properly when you start to exercise. And then also drug use can also cause it. So those are some reasons. Then the symptoms, which is probably what's most important. If you have fainting or blackout spells, you need to let us know. If you have dizziness, let us know. Unusual fatigue or weakness, notice that unusual, let us know. Chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, heart palpitation, which is where your heart feels like it flutters real fast, let us know. And then if you have a family history of someone having a heart attack below the age of 50, that's good for us to know as well. So if any of those symptoms or signs are occurring while you're exercising, you probably need to let us know, because you probably need to go see a doctor and get it checked out just to be safe. If someone does go down, again, someone will tell you to call 911. We're going to start CPR. The trainers, that's the reason we send someone for the trainer, is they will quickly bring an AED, which is a device that helps restart your heart. So be sure that you do what you're told. Part of your physical packet is completing the medical history and getting a doctor's physical, so be sure you've taken care of that. As far as head and neck injuries go, concussions, for soccer, this is actually bigger than you might think. A lot of guys will go up for headers and don't see another guy and end up heading each other in the head, and then both of them fall to the ground and their head snaps against the turf. So it happens quite more often than you think in soccer. So be sure you kind of understand, again, the signs and symptoms are going to be the most important part. So if we move over to those symptoms right here, talk about headache, nausea, balance problems, dizziness, double or fuzzy vision, sensitivity to light, noise, feeling sluggish, feeling foggy or groggy, concentration or memory problems, confusion. Some of you, that's you on a daily basis, so you kind of know yourself. What we're looking for is different from normal. If you feel like something is wrong, let us know. If you notice in your teammate, and this is what's really important, is if you notice in your teammate that something is not right, let us know. We've had several concussions every year out in practice, and usually it's other guys that can help bring it to our attention. Hey, Coach Tro, can you check out so-and-so? He's not acting right. So just let us know if you notice that. Some signs that other people have observed, just so you can kind of know this because it's you looking at it. If a kid appears dazed or stunned, confused about what to do, forgets plays, is unsure of the game, score, or opponent, moves clumsily, answers questions slowly, loses consciousness, shows behavioral or personality changes, can't recall events prior to the hit, can't recall events after the hit. Sometimes they just keep asking what happened, what happened. Then that's kind of your cue to let somebody know, so that we can get that person some help. If you do sustain a concussion, you're going to go through basically what this we call it the concussion protocol, and that involves an athletic trainer, a medical doctor, or nurse practitioner, like fancy nurse who's basically a doctor, and basically that team of people will basically return you to play. So it's a return to play protocol that basically you'll go through, and what that requires is you meeting with our trainers and them basically walking through that protocol with you over a series of days to weeks, hopefully not to months. But part of that is the concussion testing that we do, the impact testing. You'll be doing that a little bit later. So be sure you take care of that. The other part of it is that you have the right to choose your own doctor when you do this, but I'm going to tell you right now that our trainers are qualified to assess concussions. They do the same training that doctors do, and then they have a doctor that they work with through Ryan High School in order to help expedite you getting through the concussion protocol. If you choose your own doctor, they will work with them as well, but you can also opt to use the doctor that we already use here at the school. But again, it is your choice and your right, so choose who you want. Usually what will happen, just to give you a heads up, if we think that you've been hit and may be acting crazy, or we suspect that you might have a trainer or a concussion, we're always going to err on the side of safety. And if we ask you to go get checked out by the trainer, then they're going to check you out for concussion. And then the trainers will be the ones that make the call as to whether or not they feel like you need to enter the concussion protocol or not. So you'll be checking in with them. As far as basically in a game, if you, for soccer, if you are suspected of having a concussion, we will pull you out of the game so that you can be evaluated. If the trainer says that you're good and you say that you're good and we feel like you're good, then we'll put you back in. If any of us don't feel like it's the best thing and we want to evaluate you further, then we will hold you out until that time. If you feel like you have a concussion, please tell us, because that's probably the most important thing is if you tell us you feel like you might be a little bit off, then we don't want to put you in there, because a concussion is a brain injury, and we don't want you to sustain further injury. That's the return to activity still. That's if you get in a concussion, we'll walk you through that as you go. There is also a return to learn protocol that basically makes academics part of that. So if you've suffered a concussion, it is a brain injury, which can affect your academics. So we'll work with the teachers on that as well. If that's that, you do the concussion acknowledgement form in the physical packet as well. Let's see, we are trained we're supposed to be trained every 2 years, but we're actually trained every year. And then your trainers are trained like doctors on concussion stuff every year. So everybody that you're working with is compliant and is understanding of what the concussion protocols are. Heat, hydration, and asthma. This is a big one. First of all, if you have asthma, let us know. You usually by this point know what to do, so we need you to let us know so that we know you need to take care of yourself. Heat and hydration, obviously when it's hot outside, there's some acclimatization that needs to happen. So if you go from sitting on the couch at home in air conditioning all summer to coming out here and your first workout is at 110 degrees outside, that may not go well for you. So we have to do some things to try and acclimatize you to that, and then you can also be doing some things now to acclimatize yourself to that. So getting out early in the morning when it's cool is a good idea to start getting some exercise now. As far as hydration tips go, basically if you actually let me do the acclimatization first, sorry. Basically we're going to build in breaks, so be sure that you are taking those breaks, and when we take those breaks, get water. The reason we put those breaks in there is so that hopefully we're minimizing the impact of the heat related illnesses. So you need to recognize these though, because again, if you or you notice your teammates have these, then we need to get you help as quickly as possible. So the serious signs of heat illness are clumsiness, stumbling, collapse, obvious behavioral changes, or other central nervous system problems, meaning that it's like you're drunk, basically. We need to get you medical attention as soon as possible, so that's a trainer gets involved and they know exactly what to do. We have an emergency plan that we follow when that happens. Usually we get you out of the heat and we get you hydrated and cooled off as best we can, and then monitor you until we feel that you're getting better. So hydration tips, if you feel dehydrated, then it's probably late in the game. You need to always be hydrated. You need to drink 16 ounces of fluid every 2 hours before your practices. That means every 2 hours you should be drinking 16 ounces of fluid, and that starts the night before. So hydration is the day before, day of, during, and after your activities. You basically have to replace what you lose. So it's 8 to 16 every 15 minutes before the physical activity, so you kind of bulk up on your water. Then it's 4 to 8 ounces during the activity every 15 minutes, and then it is 16 to 20 after to replace what you lost during. So that's just kind of guidelines. Basically we use this one. If you pee and your pee is yellow, then you probably need to be drinking some more water. It's usually a pretty good rule of thumb. You want it to be clear. As far as what not to drink, please don't drink energy drinks. They got caffeine in them. They can cause heart issues while you're exercising. They can dehydrate you while you're exercising, so don't do it. Gatorade type drinks are okay. They can help you replace some carbohydrates and electrolytes, but good old water is probably the best thing. So again, this talks a little bit about that. If you're a salty sweat person, sometimes those Gatorade drinks are good for you. But typically you know what you need to be drinking. As far as asthma, we said it again, just let us know. If you have those issues, talk to us so that we can work with you and help you out. This section is about steroids, anabolic steroids specifically. This is Coach Malone up here, Coach Bostonbrook down here, so they modeled for you. But basically steroids, guys, and nutritional supplements, you need to know what's going into your body. If you don't know what's going into your body, then you could get in trouble if UIL comes in and decides to test athletes for stuff. And that could cause further problems for our program. So stay away from anything you don't know what it is. And then if you do know that it is steroids or nutritional supplements that have banned substances in them, don't take them. And then just don't ever look like this guy. Gross. Anyway, illegal steroid use. Basically, the only person that can give you steroids is a medical doctor. So if some guy comes up to you and says, hey, you need to use these and make you stronger, no. If you have a coach that says that, no, and probably report them. It's illegal. So you shouldn't be using anything steroid wise unless it is from a doctor. As far as nutritional substances go, those, you don't know exactly what's in them. Now, there's things like muscle milk and Gatorade, recovery drinks, the protein supplement drinks. For the most part, those are pretty safe. But again, you're responsible for what goes in your body, so you need to check and see what's in those before you're putting them in your body. So if I go back one, yeah. So for problems with steroids, boys and men, you can have reduced sperm production, shrinking of the testicles, impotence, difficulty or pain urinating, baldness, irreversible breast enlargement. So that can be awesome for you, right? And then girls can develop more masculine characteristics, decreased body fat and breast size, deepening of the voice, excessive growth of body hair, and loss of scalp hair. That sounds really good looking. And then adolescence of both sexes, premature termination of the adolescent growth spurt, so that means you're going to be smaller, size-wise, height-wise, and then the rest of your life, that can last the rest of your life. And then all ages, you can have liver problems, blood clotting problems, cholesterol problems, blood pressure problems. So it's just really not good for you to take them. They're really bad for you. Lightning safety. This one's pretty simple. If lightning strikes within 8 to 10 miles of our area, we are done. We are out. We are inside. It is no practice, no game. You're inside and not going outside for at least 40 minutes after, or 30 minutes, sorry, after the last lightning strike. So usually what happens is if a storm's coming in, you get lightning out ahead of the storm a little bit, so then you get shut down, then it starts raining and lightning still. So the storm may last 20 minutes. Well, the first lightning was 20 minutes before that. So a lot of times when storms are coming in for practice purposes, it'll cancel practice because we just won't have time to get back to practice. So if we're ever outside and a storm just blows up on top of us, and all of a sudden it drops lightning, then we are out quick. So if we say leave the equipment, leave it. If we say get inside as soon as you can, that means we are running to the building to get inside. And then once we're inside, we're not going out on the back porch to see what it looks like. We're staying inside. We're also staying out of the showers because lightning can strike water lines and then travel through the water lines and get you while you're in the shower, supposedly. So we're basically going to stay out of where we can get struck by lightning. So basically, the way that works is we get notifications on our phone, and if our phone isn't working, usually the trainers are out there yelling at us to get off the field, or we're seeing other sports start to move off the field, so we get off the field as soon as we can. And then again, once it has been suspended, we got to wait 30 minutes till we go back out. And yeah, we're gonna leave that there. Again, safe shelters inside. Stay away from landline phones, which I don't know if anybody has those anymore, and showers. As far as communicable diseases, this one's going to be pretty important this year. We're talking about coronavirus. This is it right here. Why do we wear a mask? Because all of those droplets carry the virus, and if we put a mask over it, then we limit how many of those are going out there. Then we do this just in case, because if these have gotten all over stuff, then this needs to be washed so that we don't put our hands in our face and get the disease. So communicable diseases basically boil down to one thing: hygiene. Take care of hygiene. And then this year especially, don't share stuff, and be sure you're wearing a mask at all times. We'll go over some of the safety protocols later that you're going to be having to follow, but for now, washing your hands regularly, wearing that face mask, and then just limiting your contact with each other as much as possible is what's going to be the best way to keep this thing at bay. And listen, here's what it boils down to. If we want our season to happen this year, we're going to need to try to keep ourselves in as much of a protective bubble as possible. So that means when you're in class, mask is on, you need to stay 6 feet away from people. And if someone's mask is not on, you need to definitely stay away from that person and be sure you have your mask on. Shower, wash your hands, don't wear the same clothes 2 days in a row. It's just, you got to do what you got to do in order for us to try and have a season. If you come in here and we don't follow these and you pass it to the rest of us, then they're going to shut it down. So be sure that we're taking care of that. Don't share stuff, shin guards, all that kind of stuff. Staff happens. We don't want that. Then just basically take care of yourself. Get lots of rest. Wash, hygiene. Take care of yourself. So basically, bottom line is this: you are probably the most important person in terms of your safety here. If you feel like something's not right, you need to speak up, and you need to feel free to pull yourself out of anything that you feel isn't safe. The second thing for safety is basically that you are also responsible for keeping your teammates safe. So if you notice that they have signs and symptoms of something, we need to know. And then really the coach is kind of in that as well. But you're the most important, and then everybody else that is around you is kind of the secondary helpers in that situation. So I hope this helps. Take that quiz real quick just to show that you have gone through this, and we should be ready to roll. Thanks.